Everybody, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here at the open source stage. HRF's very proud to help support this and make this possible. Free and open source software is one of the most important things for our civilization. So we're so happy that there's a dedicated stage here where we have all kinds of amazing programming. Happened earlier today, happening later today, happening tomorrow. I just wanted to bring up a friend of mine, Alvaro, Salascastro. In Bitcoin, obviously, we depend on people to make donations to help open source contributors. Of course, some companies can retain and pay for open source contributors, but a lot of people in open source, subsist on grants and on kindness and on altruism. And we want to keep that going. And we try to do our part at HRF, and there's so many other great organizations doing this, whether it be Brink or Spiral or OpenSats or Vintium. And thankfully, Alvaro and his team at the Reynolds Foundation is getting involved as well. So they're now supporting open source software and open source Bitcoin work, especially when it comes to people working in the global south and in developing economies. So with that, I just wanted to give Alvaro, a couple words. Introduce yourself to these fine people.
Thank you very much. Pura vida. I'm Alvaro from the jungle of Costa Rica. Such an honor to be here with all of you today. The Reynolds Foundation, we have three mandates to do. One is medical research, the second one is education, and the third one is freedom and democracy, particularly in countries where there are autocracies and tyrants. And we believe that through open source support and open source technologies, we can actually stick it to the dictators. So if any of you in the audience has a project, an idea, a program that might be in this line of work, please come talk to me and we can find out together how can we support you. Thank you, Alex Gladstein and the Human Rights Foundation for everything that they have done. I strongly encourage you guys to follow what they're doing at the Oslo Freedom Forum, which is fantastic. And hopefully I can see a few of you next year there.
Thank you, Alvaro. Woo! And just wanted to give a shout out again to the other amazing organizations that are supporting open source. Most of them have representatives here. OpenSats is doing amazing work. We're both proud supporters of OpenSats. Brink is doing awesome work. Vintium is starting to do this work in South America, which is really important to start to regionalize this. B-Trust is doing this work in Africa and beyond. We have more and more organizations coming in, and it's great that universities like MIT get involved. That's so wonderful to see what the DCI is doing. So we want to see more and more of this. So ultimately, hopefully, in 10 years, like every university worth its salt is, got a Bitcoin Research Institute and is supporting open source, and hopefully more companies come along and do it. It was great to see BitMEX announce that they're restarting grants for open source developers. I know that a bunch of other companies are going to be doing this. So we need corporations, we need civil groups, nonprofits. In the same way that the guy who's about to come up and speak here, the legend himself, Phil Zimmerman, in the same way that he and his allies defeated government attempts to stop privacy and open source tools in the early 1990s, which make it possible for us to have freedoms in today's world. We're kind of fighting that fight now, and there's people like Phil who are being prosecuted now for making code, and it's a very simple idea. Like, if you make code and the government puts you in jail for that, that's like you're a blacksmith and you're making a knife, and someone goes and does something bad with the knife, and the government arresting the blacksmith. It's not very American. So with that, you can go check out P2P Rights Fund. It's an initiative set up by BPI, Bitcoin Policy Institute, to help open source developers. You can look at the campaign to free Samurai over there. You can donate to P2P Rights Fund to help those folks out if you want. So pay attention. Thank you for being here. We'll see you later. Take care.
Thank you. Pura vida. Thank you, brother.